Hey, okay, here we go. Hey, it's me, Ricky. I'm back with another segment of what had happened was Harry Potter season. And we're doing it big out here. I mean, we got the fifth. We're on our fifth Harry Potter movie. Yeah, yeah. I made it to season five, bitches. So this Harry Potter movie is called Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Now, I actually had to review this movie and take notes because there was so much that happened. It was fucking notes in pink, fucking ink. You know I love y'all if I put it in pink. So anyways, alright. So basically the movie starts out, Harry Potter, he's on the swing set in the park, in his like suburb where he lives with his uncle, with his bitch ass uncle and aunt and his cousin. So his cousin and his cousin's friends started making fun of him, talking about how he talks in his sleep and shit. And they're like, haha, where's your mom and dad, Harry? Are they dead? Who's Cedric? And I realized that Cedric was the one that got killed at in like Lord Voldemort's territory when he was with Harry. His name wasn't Edward. It's the same person that plays Edward in Twilight. I just call him Edward. So his name is Cedric. So he was like, who killed Cedric? Who's Cedric, Harry? He was making fun of him. Harry was like, pull out his lungs like, I kill you, motherfucker. And then like the clouds start coming down like, and everything started looking all sick and shit. Like it was all gloomy and dark. And then like Dudley's friends like took off running. That's Harry Potter's cousin. And then Dudley and Harry Potter looked at the sky. Was like, fuck that. Start running. Dudley was fighting Ash to keep up. He was all slow and shit. Harry Potter was like, come on, fight Ash. And then went in this tunnel, and they saw the Grim Reaper thing. Remember the Grim Reaper thing I told you about? Those are called, what is it fucking called? The Mentors. Yeah, they're like prison guards in Azkaban, and they like kill you if you try to escape. For some reason, the Mentors were in a suburb home in London, and nobody knows why. So Harry Potter would almost die. And the thing is that Muggles, non-magic folk, can't see him. So Dudley's like, what the fuck is going on? Why is everything so cold? Blah, blah, blah. Harry. And Harry was like, Expecto Patronum spell. And then like whomped them off. And then the thing is that he did magic in front of a Muggle, and that was bad. And you couldn't do that. And if you're not 17, he was 15 in this movie. If you're not 17, you can't do magic outside of school. So it's like a law or something. So so basically, what's her name, Miss Biggs, she comes out of nowhere and is like, Harry, keep her Wanda. They might come back. They're not gone yet. And then she took Harry and Harry's cousin back to his house. And basically, they were like, what did you do to my boy? Blah, blah, blah. You're bad. And then Harry got this letter. This talking letter was like, Harry Potter, you used the Patronus spell outside of Hogwarts territory in front of Muggle. You are hereby expelled. So they expelled him from Hogwarts and shit. So he's all crying and she goes upstairs, starts beating the fuck out of his room. And now got a picture of his parents that can move. So he picks it back up and goes, sorry. So he lays down, has a little dream about like this room, about like this like, it's like a big boat. It's like a bank, but a boat. It's like a dark black room. And like he was dreaming about like something's inside it. And I feel like this little orbs on the shelves everywhere. And then he wakes up. And then like someone's knocking on the door. And it turns out that it's all his friends that were like teachers at Hogwarts and that had his back. And like Sirius's clique. You remember Sirius Black? Yeah, that's his clique. So anyways, he goes back to what's it called? He goes to trial with Dumbledore. Dumbledore is like his lawyer. He goes to trial with the Ministry of Magic. And they was like, blah, you use magic and blah blah blah. Why did you use magic? And then Dumbledore was like, well, he has to because there was a Dementor, and everybody was like, oh, there's a Dementor in London and outside of Magic territory. They was like, I don't know, but and they was like, that's a good made up story. You don't have since you don't have a witness, you're still expelled. And they was like, we do have a witness, bitch, Miss Biggs. Miss Biggs was like, yeah, I seen that shit. And they was like, damn. Well, the Dementors are controlled by the Ministry of Magic. He was like, yeah, that's the problem. And they was like, what you trying to say? You trying to say we did that shit? And Dumbledore was like, I ain't pointing no fingers or nothing. Y'all try to do that shit. So they was like, and then this one lady was like, all in favor of Harry Potter being accused with all charges. Like, two people rose their hand. The judge rose their hand, and like this other lady named Dolores Umbridge, she's like one of the head masters of the ministry. They raised their hand. It was like two people raised their hand. And then there's like all opposed, and everybody rose their hand, and everybody was like, y'all some bitches for raising your hand the first time. Anyway, Harry Potter was like, yeah, I'm back at Hogwarts, and nigga was good. So he went back to like Sirius Black's house, and they had like this group called the Order of the Phoenix, and that was their like headquarters, Order of the Phoenix headquarters, and that's where like all Harry's friends, Ron Weasley's brothers, Ron Weasley's family, everybody was there. Everybody good was there. That was like Harry's family. So basically, they told him with the Order of Phoenixes, it was like a group that like used to fight Lord Voldemort back in the day when Harry was like a baby and Harry's parents was in it before they died. So basically, yeah, they just regrouped and like they had like a meeting for like the ones that are older, and they had a meeting, and the kids were like, what are they trying to say? What are they trying to say? They didn't tell them that, but Dumbledore was there too, so it was a very important meeting. So they get shipped off. You know, they go back to the train station. You know, board they shit, about to go back to the train and all, go to Hogwarts. On the train, Harry Potter kept having the same dream with this boat, and like he's seeing shit the Lord Voldemort's seeing, and it's weird because it's like he's like hallucinating and passing out. Can't breathe, like sleeping and shit. So he wakes up, you know, they get back to school, then he meets this girl named Numa or something like that. Like her, while she's full blonde, she's like full blonde or whatever, and she like can see like ghosts and shit like that that other people can't see. You know, Harry becomes friends with her because like they have a lot of common. They've seen death before, so they have a lot of common. A lot of people haven't seen death yet. So, so basically, they had a new defense against the dark arts teacher. Again, this is the fifth time that happened. And I did some research. The second time, it was like this one guy. He was like had red hair, and he was a bitch nigga. Like they tried to keep him going to jail for secret and made him a dumbass. But anyway, that's a different story. So I remember the second one. I just can't tell you the first one. So the Lumbers Umbridge, the bitch that opposed against Harry in court, was a new defense against the dark arts teacher, and like she's teaching them some bullshit. It's like, why are you teaching us this bullshit, miss? Harry Potter was like, yeah, why don't you teach us some real defense against the dark arts? And she was like, well, what dark arts do you have to defend against? And Harry Potter was like, I don't know, maybe Lord Voldemort. And she was like, get this, he is not alive, you are a liar. And everybody else was like, man, I think Harry's telling the truth, but everybody don't want to believe her because they're not sure, because only Harry's seen it. And the only person that believes him is Lord Dumbledore. And Lord Dumbledore is not trying to talk to Harry this whole time because he's trying to, like, you know, cut Harry off to keep him safe. So, Harry Potter's a liar. And then he goes back to his dorm. He has another dream that Ron's dad is attacked by a snake, but you can't tell it's a snake. Like, you can just see the screen, like, just going, jumping at him, just fighting, like, just biting the shit out of him. But, like, Harry like sees it as if he was attacking him, as if he was controlling it, but he had no control over it. So he goes to Dumbledore, like, Dumbledore, I had a dream, and he's there with him, Hermione, Ron, Professor Snape, and Dumbledore, and like Dumbledore was asking him these questions, and he wasn't talking to him, he was just asking questions, like interrogating him. And then he was like, well, did you see it from the side, next to him, or like above, looking down? He said, neither one. He said, I see, Professor Snape. Harry Potter was like, look at me! Look at me! What is going on to me? And he wasn't paying him no attention either. It was sad. I was like, why this nigga ignoring him? I thought he was homie and shit. God, I hate my teacher. What they have. Anyway. So Harry Potter, oh yeah, I remember. The meeting was talking about not Sirius Black, the Lord Voldemort building his army to fight against Harry Potter and kill Harry Potter and everybody at Hogwarts. So Harry Potter was like, if he wants to build an army, well, I want to build an army. But we got to do it secretly because Draco Malfoy is a snitch ass nigga, and that's what he's been doing since day one. And we can't tell this Dolores Umbridge that because she gonna get mad and she's with the Ministry of Magic and she gonna shut our program down and kill us and shit. And then basically, she took me in the office because she thought I was lying about Dumbledore, and she made me do this little spell that I had to write, I must not tell a lie 3 times, and then when I was writing it, it showed up on my hand like, I must not tell a lie. It's like engraved in his hand, in Harry's hand. It was nuts. I don't know why I'm telling the story like I'm Harry Potter. I think I'm Harry Potter sometimes. But, so, Harry Potter like gets his little secret room that only Gryffindor knows like passwords to. And like Gryffindor is basically Harry Potter's clique now. Slytherin's just a whole ass nigga run by Malfoy. So like they're learning all these spells that Harry's teaching them, and they become stupid strong. He got his own army. Then one day they kept spying on him and broke that shit down, son. Damn, that nigga's busted. Going to the office. So basically, Dumbledore got in trouble because Harry Potter called their clique Dumbledore's Army, and then they got Harry Potter locked up. And they was like, well, Dumbledore, we have to terminate you in office. So basically, they kicked him out and tried to take him to prisoner of Azkaban for seduction and treason. And Azkaban ain't no prison to go to. That motherfucker hard to do like that. But it's like he was a slave, put in prison. So Dumbledore was like, Harry was like, no, it was my idea. It wasn't his. Dumbledore was like, well, apparently Harry. It didn't say Harry Potter's army. It said Dumbledore's army. So, I guess they got to convict him. And then they was like, well, take him into custody. And Dumbledore was like, only one condition. The thing is that I have no intentions of going to Azkaban. And then they was like, what, you motherfucker? And then, like, this Phoenix came by and started flying down. I was like, well, my nigga. And, like, slapped and disappeared. Like, slapped the Phoenix like that. And the Phoenix, like, and made him disappear. He went somewhere, nobody knows. So, Harry Potter, they got busted again. So, they went to, Dolores Umbridge's office trying to go to Dumbledore, doing that little, that little fire transporter. Like, it's in, like, the chimney house, and they just go in it and they transport wherever they want to go. And then Dolores Umbridge caught that motherfucker, and Snape crew was there. It was like, yeah, I caught him and him and him and him, and they just got them up. And then, like, he's sitting in his chair, and she was like, you were going to see Dumbledore, weren't you? Harry Potter was like, I was talking about, why? Slapped Harry out of him like, bitch, why? But no, he didn't do that. So Hermione was like, tell him where it is. And then Harry looked at her like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then she asked Professor Snape, she's like, Professor Snape, you know anything about this? Professor Snape was like, but he knew, but he was like, I had no idea. Like, he was being a slick motherfucker. So, but, oh yeah, Professor Snape, him during this whole movie, Dumbledore told Professor Snape to, like, teach him how to withstand a spell, and basically, because Harry was having these dreams, he thinks that little Voldemort might be tapping into his brain and trying to, like, get information from Harry. So he was like, okay, I'm going to try to do this spell against you, and, like, Professor Snape can see everything that Harry knows, and he was like, fight it, Harry, fight it, and then, like, he can't break it, and they've been going at this for hours. He's like, I've been going at this for hours, I'm tired. He's like, can we just take a break? And then Snape was like, well, Voldemort's not going to take a break, so I'm not going to take a break, because I don't like your ass anyway. And then he was talking about, like, somehow they got on the subject of Harry Potter's dad. And for some reason, Snape did not like Harry Potter because of his dad, James Potter. He's like, my dad was a great wizard. He's like, your dad was an imbecile. And then he was like, man, fuck you. And then basically, he was like, blah, 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 you don't know what I've been through. And Harry Potter was like, blah, blah, blah. And he did that spell that Snape was doing to Harry, so he could see everything that Snape was thinking about. That Snape was thinking about back in the day when he went to Hogwarts, he had to put his son over. And then James Potter had all his friends from Gryffindor was like, ha ha, Expelliarmus, and he was like whooping Snape's ass and like put him up in the air and made him do twists and shit. Basically was bullying Snape, and that's why Snape never liked Harry, because Harry's dad was a bully to Snape for some reason. Like Harry's dad was like that, like the typical jock from like Miller South or something that was a bully to everybody. It was like, yeah, I'm the shit, so I'm gonna treat everybody like shit, let him jacket on with his crew, and then fight anybody like they'd bully people. That's how it was. And Harry's like, Dad, no. Dad, you're a great wizard. Why are you doing this? So Harry Potter realized that his dad was a fucking bully. And, yeah, it was sad. But, so anyway, so Hermione was like, tell him Miss Umbridge where it's at. And Harry was like, I don't know, nigga. She's like, if you don't tell him, I will. So Hermione makes up like she's improvising right now. So she's going in the forest and shit. And Hagrid had to leave too. Like, this bitch, hold on, I'm gonna tell you, Dolores Umbridge been a bitch this whole movie. She kept making rules so they can't do shit. People couldn't kiss, they were dating in the hallway. They couldn't, like, wear their shirts sloppy, like, they tie had to be, like, up here and shit. It was all bad. And then, she started firing teachers, like, out of the blue that was helping Harry. She started firing them motherfuckers. Like, that one that could tell, like, Harry's future, that was like, Harry, you're in great danger. Fired her. And they fired, Hagrid. And then, before Hagrid bounced, they was like, Harry, I gotta show you this, because, well, I gotta tell somebody here before I leave. Hagrid got a fucking son, and this nigga was like 20 feet tall. I'm like, damn, it was a giant, a fat ass giant. So Hermione took them off in the forest, and she was like, where's it at? And she had him by the wand at like gunpoint, but it's not gun, it's like wand. So she had him at wand point. I was like, where's it at? Hermione was like, it's right there. And then like these motherfucking half human, half horse things motherfuckers just came out striding out and shit. There's like an army of them. And then they try to like shoot Columbus. And she was like, wow, you motherfucker, you trying to shoot me? And she like grabbed this rope and was like, yeah. And like he was all tangled up and shit, and he couldn't breathe. Like, and then Hermione's like, stop it, you're hurting him. He's like, no, I will have order. And then Hagrid's son came out of nowhere, was like, bah, bitch. Like in this fucking forest.